welcome to this week's episode of Tiny Table Talk for The Challenge Season 35 Total Madness Reunion Part 1. And I'm doing something similar to what we did last week with the finals Tiny Table Talk, and this is all from comments from my Thursday's video review and recap of the reunion Part 1. I'm going to be reading them and replying to them. So without further ado, let's go on to the first comment. This one is from Gabby, who says, Zach held his head in shame and couldn't even watch back the way he acted, yet he said he would do it again? Good grief. This is a typical Zach situation where he would like to think that he is changed in some way, but it's just cyclical. You think maybe he changed, but no, he didn't. He never has. Brooklyn comments, I would have rather dealt with Paulie dancing in his stupid purple velvet jacket than the Zach and Jenna thing again. I think I would watch an hour-and-a-half loop of Paulie dancing from War of the Worlds 2 instead of dealing with the last 5 minutes from this reunion with Zach and Jenna. I actually had a good time trying to recreate the dance from last reunion, so I kind of missed that in this Zoom call. The next comment comes from Melissa, who says, I want Theo Von to host. I think that is a very interesting pick to be a host. He is a challenge OG from way back in the day. He actually was on reality TV to help jumpstart his comedy career, but he has mentioned it a lot of times that the reality stigma he had to endure for the beginning of his comedy career, to have to shed that, to be taken seriously as an entertainer, as a comic. I just don't think that he keeps up with the reality TV world. He doesn't keep up with the challenge world, and I just don't see him coming back to wanting to do it. I think he would be an interesting choice, but I like the idea of like a challenge OGs. I think The Miz has always been a good host. I think Mark Long would be a nice host that people would like to see back. The next comment comes from Jordan, saying the most interesting thing that happened during this reunion was Nany saying she was done with reality TV, so I guess this is her last season and she's bowing out. I heard that too on the second time viewing this reunion. I didn't really catch it the first time. She mentioned it while everyone was talking all at once. She did say in her phrasing, it was something similar to, this is a reason why I don't want to do reality TV anymore. There was a want in there. So I feel as though that it's not necessarily saying that she is done, that she is formally retiring from being on the challenge or any reality TV in general. I think it was more like, I'm tired of people always coming after me and the fans coming after me for what I do on the season. But I do feel as though that maybe she won't be on the next season, but maybe she'll be on a season maybe after next. You never know if she takes a break at all. The next comment comes from Cecilia, who says, I'm convinced Wes knows another rival season is just around the corner, so he's trying not to get paired with Josh by claiming there's no rivalry. I wouldn't put that past Wes. He was very adamant throughout the season, saying that there is no rivalry. Don't speak this into existence. There is nothing there. And then he even tries to play it off within the reunion, but Josh wasn't wanting to play back with all the questioning and all the poking and everything. So I definitely could see this. I mean, MTV's YouTube channel for a while was putting up those MTV challenges, beefs, videos with Wes and Jordan, with Jenna and Amanda, and Kyle and Paulie. So it's gotten a lot of fans thinking that there could be another rivalry season, which it could be. I mean, it fits the criteria after Total Madness. Another comment is from Loved By You, saying, I've been saying all season Kyle's cheated on his girlfriend with Melissa. Everyone ignored it. I love being right. There was a lot of rumors happening even before the season started that Kyle and Melissa had done the hanky-panky within the challenge house. We got some receipts of them being handsy, being really close with one another from the reunion. We didn't get to see the full-fledged act or them coming out of the full-fledged act in the receipts, but to me, I think we saw enough to where there was some going on. The next comment comes from Connor Upshot, who says the finale had 1 episode, but the reunion has 2 episodes? I was confused on that as well, but we learned in the preview for the next part of the reunion, It's called Behind the Madness, and it looks like it's going to be mainly kind of like a stuff they shouldn't shown from back in the day, where they're going to show like never before scenes happening from the season, and then they're going to get their live reactions and talking about what led up to the scene and all that good stuff. So to me, I'm actually more excited about part 2, because that's a lot more like, hey, we're gonna see some fights which were edited out, which why were they edited out, and then we're gonna get their reaction to why that happened, what was going on, and getting their full attention on it. So to me, I would actually rather have 2 parts of that, where we're seeing behind the stuff scenes and then getting their reactions from it. Lakeem B says, I didn't watch because I knew you would do it for me. Thank you. No problem, Lakeem. You know I got your back. I got your back. And everybody else who kind of decided to sit out the reunion and watch something else, I got you. I'm always here, no matter if it's a reunion, whether it's a 3-minute trailer for a 20-minute video breakdown, I got you. Fonda says, I agree with you. This reunion was boring, boring. It made absolutely no sense why Zach was there if he wasn't going to man up and apologize for making Jenna's life in the bunker horrible experience. He literally did the same thing to Jonna, blaming her for everything gone wrong in Battle of the Exes. He also called Jenna a different woman's name, plus he makes her cry constantly. I guess what they say is true. Love is blind, but I digress. The best part of this lackluster reunion is when Ashley said, I don't need a storyline, I am the storyline. I think that should be on a shirt. I am the storyline. I think that would be a fun shirt. And I agree, I guess Zach was contractually obligated to come in, maybe sign something. He was a big part of Jenna's drama in this season, even not being in the bunker. He was a big portion of why she threw herself into 2 eliminations relatively close to one another, and then he decided to just say, I'm just here so you won't find me, kind of thing. But yeah, it was pretty pointless in my opinion, that whole segment. If he wasn't gonna say anything, then why be there anyways? The next comment comes from Lana, who says, I agree with literally 100% of what you said. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's the most kind comment out there. Okay, I'll keep reading. The reunion was boring. For something called Total Madness, the Real Housewives have reunions that are more captivating than this. Oh man, from somebody who also watches a lot of Real Housewives reunions and just Bravo in general, I have to concur with this. She Colombian comments, are you going to make videos about Big Brother AllStar? I am actually. With the challenge reunion and the challenge still going on, I put all my eggs into that basket and just putting all my effort into that. And then August 5th is the new Big Brother AllStar start for the new season, so I'm going to be putting a lot towards Big Brother while also still doing challenge content and other reality TV content that I've been wanting to do for a while. So starting next week, early next week, the cast will be revealed. Then I'll be doing a cast reveal and reaction and review video on all the cast members for Big Brother AllStar 2. And then I'm going to be starting doing regular videos on that when the episodes actually start coming out. And then I'm also going to be doing a lot of challenge content, so don't worry about that. I got a lot of stuff coming out for that, and stuff like On the Circle, Too Hot to Handle, and Love is Blind, stuff that has come out and that I've been watched, but I'm going to be rewatching and then coming out with more videos for that. So keep your eyes peeled for Big Brother content coming out very, very soon, and more stuff for the challenge as we're wrapping up Total Madness. We only have 1 more week left, and then challenge off season officially begins. The next comment comes from Ryan, who says, Kyle's joke was funny. You're reading too much into it. Maybe I am. I didn't mention how funny it was. I did laugh about Kyle's joke. It was really funny. I also saw another joke comment that said that I just like to rag on Kyle. I don't. I wasn't the biggest fan coming into the season, but he won me over, especially in the finals. His performance within the finals this season really kind of warmed me up to Kyle. So I want to make it out there and known to everybody that I do not hate Kyle. The next comment comes from Ali T. Bali. I get bored of Zoom calls with friends, so about 5 minutes into this, I was over it. Glad you recapped it, so I know I didn't miss anything. Again, Ali T. You and Lakeem, I'm doing this for y'all. You know I got your backs with all these videos, with these recaps, with these reviews. I got you. I give you the most important parts of every single episode, no matter what, whether it's a reunion, whether it's just a little tiny thing here and there. for the challenge, I got you. Everybody else that's watching too, I do it for you guys as well. The next comment comes from Emerith, who says, I'm sorry for my ignorance, but who's Morgan in reference to Jay and Bananas? Okay, so I wanted to point out this comment in particular, especially if other people don't necessarily watch X on the Beach and are coming straight from, say, Survivor and don't know any of the background of Jay, Bananas, and Morgan. So Jay and Morgan from Big Brother Over the Top, she actually won Big Brother Over the Top. She and Jay dated outside of their reality TV shows, and then Morgan was featured on X on the Beach on MTV, and one of her exes that came back was Jay. And so on that show, on that season, they had a bit of a rocky roller coaster kind of relationship, but they kind of got back together and then left the show together as a couple. And then after that was filmed, Morgan was featured on War of the Worlds, and she was partnered up with Bananas. She chose Bananas as her partner. Once they were eliminated by Zach and Sahita, that's when Bananas and Morgan did this like excursion adventure together. They traveled some of the world together and had like a mini vacation just by themselves. And during that filming, Jay and Morgan were supposedly still together. And then at the reunion for X on the Beach, it kind of came out that they weren't together and Morgan was with Bananas. And so Bananas and Morgan are still together. Everybody was anticipating what was going to happen within this season of the challenge, season 35 Total Madness, with the whole Jay and Bananas having a common factor in Morgan, and that Morgan supposedly cheated on Jay with Bananas and now is with Bananas full time and that kind of thing. What are the timelines? What were their behavior towards one another be? Would Jay be wanting to go after Bananas? Would Bananas want Jay out altogether? But really nothing came from their interactions. Nothing was brought up or shown on the show, and that's when Ashley brought it up on Twitter in the reunion, and you could tell that the guys were just like, we don't want to deal with this. The next comment comes from Andreja, who says, Bananas definitely hates Jay. I don't know if I would say hates. Hates is a very, very strong word. Maybe they find it awkward to be in the same house because of everything that happened between them and Morgan. Just don't want to say and put on that they definitely hate each other. Bananas hasn't come out explicitly and says that he hates Jay in any publication or anything like that. Jay hasn't said anything about Bananas in that kind of capacity either. Maybe just being in the same house is a little awkward for them both. So I would like to say I chalked it up to that, but I don't want to put hate out into the universe that that's all about hate and everything. And the final comment comes from Melting Cube 101, who says, I mean, not everyone talk a lot in the reunions that happen in real life, so to me, it was sort of the same. I completely understand where you're coming from. I guess I'm just so used to at least people being in, like, sitting all together, and when they're panning, when people aren't talking, we get to see everybody all at once. At least with this format, people had to be patched through and then dropped and patched in, and I just didn't see a whole lot of people talking. So I guess maybe because we're in the Zoom and we're seeing people like head on and face to face more often than just saying like they're just sitting on a couch and with everybody else and then they're talking to someone off screen or something. It felt a little bit different. It just seemed like more blatant in the Zoom call. But what'd you think about the reunion part 1? Let me know that in the comment section below. That is it for this week's episode of Tiny Table Talk. Join me next week for the reunion part 2 called Behind the Madness. Also join me for the Tiny Table Talk that's happening on Friday. It looks to be the final Tiny Table Talk for Total Madness. It's the final videos for Total Madness in general. What do you think about this whole season? Let me know that in the comment section below. And what do you think about everything that happened in the reunion? Let me know that too. Thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really, really soon with more content. Big Brother AllStar 2 content, the challenge content, and more content in general. But until then, peace.